Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, back with another bussin' banger, no cap, on God. Today we're going to be reflecting on the sneaker release calendar of 2024 up until this point by going over my top 10 pickups of the year. I think in terms of releases so far this year, it's been kind of mid. Don't get me wrong, there have been some really cool sneakers, there's been some really good collabs, there's also been a number of really cool retros. But from a release perspective, it's been kind of average. I want to start things off by going through a couple of special mentions. First special mention goes to these, the Air Jordan 1 Low Year of the Dragons. These came out right at the start of the year. I actually think this is low-key quite an underrated pair. The colorway is nice. The quality is not good. I will admit that. The quality is crap. Weathermans, look, if you don't know about this shoe and the history and the rarity of the release the first time around, and you're sat there thinking, bro, those are ugly. What an abominable colorway. I wouldn't take issue with that, to be fair. These are pretty ugly in terms of the colorway prima facie, but green is my favorite color. I'm a big fan of the KD4 model. I low-key think it's his best shoe ever. The Jordan 3 Craft Ivories. This is another sleeper pair from this year. These are nice, man. It's a clean, simple colorway. And last up for the special mentions, the Air Force 1 Low Linens. Radio, let's get into the list. My top 10 favorite pickups from this year. Starting off at number 10, the Adidas Superstar Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab. Now, the packaging alone justifies this shoe's place in the top 10. The packaging is elite. The blister pack, these come with a comic book as well. Colorways on point, the little accessories and attachments, the Dubrays. It's just a solid collab. At number 9, the Nike SB Dunk Low Live, Laugh, Loves, the big money savings, whatever we're calling these. I had to put these on the list because I actually low-key think these are one of the more underrated sneakers in general from this year. I mean, these look like a collab, but they're not a collab. The materials are really good. They're definitely slightly more elevated than you'd expect for just a normal GRSB. You've got a nice mashup of materials from burlap to suede to this baroque sort of synthetic overlay in the mid panels. They tell a really cool story as well, and although I wasn't really sold on these when the images first leaked, as I've gotten them in hand and as I've worn them a couple of times, I've grown to really love them. And number 8, the Nike Air Max 1 OG Big Bubble with the Volt midsole, the Sneakers Day pair. I think the main reason why I've featured these on the list is because I've worn them so much and I've just grown to really enjoy rocking them. You guys might remember I went through the trouble of doing an entire 30-day wear test with these, which is actually one of the worst videos I've posted on this channel. It got hardly any views, but it was still nonetheless an enjoyable process, and in just having these essentially as beaters has made me fall in love with them, and I've given them a bit of a cleanup. As you can see, they're slightly more presentable now, and yeah, I just like them. At number 7, the J Balvin 3 Rios. I actually just got these in recently from eBay, and I haven't done a review on them because I feel like it's so far gone, like the time, even like for me, who's like the specialist in late reviews, to do it now would be like, bro, what are you up to? But getting them in hand and seeing them, bro, the quality on these is nice, the colorway is good. I do think J Balvin made the right sort of move in terms of doing essentially home and away type version on the 3. I think that definitely makes sense. It's a good looking pair, the shape is good, and so yeah, shout out to J Balvin, man. Coming in at number 6, and I guess for some of you guys out there, you might take issue with this placement, and that's fine, but I'm gonna go with the Air Jordan 4 Industrial Blue, aka the Military Blues. Now, for a long time, we've been asking for this sneaker. We've been wondering when the retro was going to come about because we've never had these with the Nike Air on the back since 1989, and we've had a couple of retros that in my opinion are pretty crap because the color's off and the shape's off and the Jumpman's on the tab. So we finally got the OG retro we've been asking for, and there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of build up, and these ultimately were very much available. They made a lot of pairs of these. My only gripe with the shoe is that the QC isn't the greatest, but it's what you would probably expect given the scale of mass production on these. But very happy to have them in the collection. It's been great to complete all of the OG colorways from 1989 with the Nike Air on the back, and so for that reason they are here, but not quite in the top 5. Into the top 5, and at number 5, the Asics Gel NYC collaboration with Hidden New York. Now, if you look at the shoe just prima facie, bro, it is boring. There is nothing spectacular about the shoe. It's predominantly white, there's some silver in there, and there's a little bit of green. The devil really is in the details, but I'll tell you why I like these so much. I like these so much because, bro, they are comfy. It is definitely a reflection of my age these days that the shoes I tend to like the most are the shoes that I find the most comfortable. And you can tell the shoes that I wear the most because I've got these big dad loops in my lacing system. You can see here from the way I've laced these up that I am rocking these on the regular. I walk in these, I've gone for runs in these, I've trained in these, done some kickboxing and some boxing in these. They're just so nice to wear. When I have them on foot, I think to myself, bro, I should just be wearing these almost exclusively, and that's why they're here. At number 4, the Air Jordan 4 RM Nigel Sylvester, the Fence Green. Now, there could be a little bit of recency bias at play here because, yeah, I only picked these up a couple of weeks ago, but ever since I first saw these on the feet of Nigel Sylvester, I was like, bro, this colorway slaps. The model, yeah, okay, the model isn't like a knockout model, but the colorway and the quality looks awesome. And after getting them in hand, I am a fan. I think this collaboration is everything that you want in a collab in terms of talking about the collaborator's origin story. There's some nice subtle details that tie in to his whole journey on the BMX. It's a brand new model. Okay, it has a little bit of DNA from the Jordan 4 midsole tooling, but we haven't seen this model before, and for that reason, new model, nice colorway, dope collab, they've got to be here. At number 3, the best Nike SB Dunk Low of the year, and probably the best Nike SB Dunk Low of the past couple of years, the Futura Lows. These are fire. I love this colorway. I think these have been such an awesome summer shoe. They're loud, they're bright, they're vibrant, they're exciting, but they also have a really cool history in terms of their link to Futura, who is a Nike collaborative legend. If you think about how collectible and how sought after his other SB collabs are from the past, then you'll understand why his name and his signature and his artwork being on an SB in 2024 is really important for sneakerheads. So I think they're dope. Coming in at number 2, it's the Air Jordan 4 Bred Reimagines. Yeah, and I'll be the first person to admit that when these came out, I was not fussed about them. I didn't even care that I missed out on them. In fact, it took me a few months to actually get a pair, and when I got a pair, I got them for under retail. So an under retail pickup is one of my favorite pickups of the entire year so far. And the reason why I like the Bred 4 Reimagines is because I think this is the best reimagined shoe we've had so far. I've worn these 2 or 3 times since buying them used, and they still look really good. Like, the creasing isn't apparent, they're quite comfortable on foot, and listen, this is arguably the best Air Jordan 4 colorway of all time, and to get them, in my opinion, in an upgraded fashion for under retail in 2024 is like, bro, awesome. And my number 1 sneaker pickup of the year, my favorite shoe that I've bought this entire year, are these, the Asics GT2160 Earls collection. Now, some of you might be like, hey, what is going on here? What's this random shoe out of nowhere? He's just doing this to try and be edgy. What a cool guy. No, the reason why this is my favorite sneaker pickup of the year is because I actually copped these back in Aotearoa, New Zealand, back in March. These didn't release here in the UK or over this side of the world. They only released in the sort of Asia, South Pacific region, and I just happened to be traveling back home to New Zealand for a holiday to see my family when they released. These have a cultural tie-in to my background, given that some of the inspiration for the shoe comes from Maori culture, thanks to the connection to a guy called Louis Brown, who's in charge of the brand Earls collection. So not only is the colorway fire, just in terms of browns and greens, but it's got cultural significance in the references to things like harakeke, which is flax weaving, or pounamu, which is greenstone, or just Maori culture in general. So the fact that this is a shoe that speaks to my culture on my mother's side, being of Maori descent, and given the fact that I copped them for retail in Aotearoa, New Zealand while I was on holiday, makes this shoe being number one an absolute no-brainer. And there we go. Those are my favorite pickups from 2024 up until this point. Still plenty of pickups to go. I'm wondering to what extent the list might be affected by some of the sneakers that are still yet to release, but I think at the moment that's a pretty nice top 10. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that was a good list? Actually, just keep your thoughts to yourself. Just hit the thumbs up, type in the comments. I love you, bro. You're the man. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.